So let's talk about why Umurangi Generation is actually pretty good. Umurangi Generation is a game about taking photos. And that is kind of a cool thing to be. I mean, how many photography games are there? There is Pokemon Snap and that's a shame because photography is such a cool thing. I mean, you basically capture and preserve a moment which would be otherwise instantly gone. Think about it, even a movie is just a bunch of photos strung together. And even your life is basically just you constantly experiencing a lot of photos in a row. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Let's move on. Umurangi Generation has 8 levels in which you can roam around freely and take pictures at your own pace. In each one you get a list of objectives you have to fulfill in order to move on to the next one. For example, one of the objectives in the first level is to take a picture with 7 birds in it. Which is pretty easy, there are enough birds around. Or in the second level you have to take a picture of 3 lit cigarettes. So you just go to these 3 fellas and bam, you did it. Some of the tasks also have a certain condition attached to it, like having to take the photo from far away or from up close. Or sometimes you have to use a certain lens. Speaking of lenses, let's talk a bit about the different ways you can take a picture. You can zoom in and out, adjust your focus, lean to the left or right, change between different lenses, and play around with some stuff afterwards, like exposure, saturation, color balance, and so on. You definitely have enough possibilities to get creative here, which makes the game a lot more satisfying than it would be otherwise. And what I love is that you also unlock new gear as the game progresses. After every level you either get a new lens or one of these sliders. I don't just like this because my tiny brain finds unlocking new stuff really satisfying, but also because it keeps the game from feeling too overwhelming at the start. If you would have everything from the get-go, it might have been like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? It's also cool to replay past levels with your new equipment and see what kind of new neat stuff you can create. And you have to replay them anyways, at least when you want to get everything. You see, every level also has a list of optional bonus objectives. Completing all of them will grant you one additional new tool. Doing this on your first try is pretty much impossible. And if you sit there now thinking, well, I played this game and I completed everything on my first try, then let me tell you, shut up, you didn't. Every level has the same 5 bonus objectives. You have to take a group photo of your friends, you have to earn a certain amount of cash, you have to recreate a postcard which you can see in the pause screen, you have to pick up all film canisters, and you have to finish the level in under 10 minutes. Taking the group photo of your friends can be slightly tricky, but it's never really a problem. Also, one of your friends is a penguin, which is really good. Getting enough cash isn't a problem either. You automatically get a few bucks for every picture you take. How much exactly depends on 3 things: color, content, and composition. I could go into more detail about how the rating system works exactly, but I'm too lazy and also too fucking dumb to do that, so let's just say that I always got enough money by just taking a bunch of photos I thought looked cool, so yeah, no problem. Taking the postcard shot sounds like it could be difficult, but it's actually really not. Because there's a green glowing spot in every level from where you have to do it, so you don't have to look around for it too much. The hard part are the 2 remaining objectives. Collecting all the film canisters honestly drove me nuts. I don't know if it's really all that hard, but I constantly overlooked 1 or 2, because they're so damn small. And that still wouldn't be a problem, but you have to complete every main and bonus objective in under 10 minutes. It's stressful, you know, like sometimes I was almost done with everything, but I still needed to pick up 2 more film canisters. There were only 2 minutes remaining. I couldn't remember which ones I didn't pick up yet because I replayed the levels 5 times before. in the hopes of finally completing it this time, and yeah. To be completely honest here, I was able to do this for the first 2 levels and then I just gave up on it because I suck. But I still replayed the other levels a couple of times and really enjoyed doing that because I just love losing myself in the game's atmosphere. The visual style and the music create a vibe which is just so stylish. The fantastic soundtrack was actually done by the YouTuber ThorHighHeels. If you would like to see some game reviews that aren't dog shit like, well, this one, you should check out this channel. It's really good. Just strolling around the levels is very fun because there's interesting stuff to look at in pretty much every corner. But I think the most impressive part of this game is how it uses its environments for world building and storytelling. Yes, Umurangi Generation has a story and it's told without any cutscenes or dialogue. There are times where the storytelling is very direct and very in your face, but most of it is done in a very subtle way. By looking at billboards, posters, newspapers, graffiti and other stuff, you more and more understand what is going on in this world. I absolutely love this way of storytelling, not just because it gives the players the option to dig into it as much as they wish to, but also because it's something that's exclusive to the medium of video games. While the story and parts of the aesthetic are clearly inspired by Neon Genesis Evangelion, I mean, come on, it doesn't feel like a ripoff. I listened to an interview with the creator of the game, in which he said that he intended for it to be a sort of reflection of the current state of our own world. Yes, I do research. But even before I got that confirmation from him, I was able to tell that the game was going for that. Not just because I'm incredibly intelligent, but because, I don't know, you can tell it's pretty obvious. You even have some people walking around in face masks. The game came out like 2 months after the pandemic really started to be a thing in the West though, so yeah, that's most likely a coincidence. Whoa, what the fuck? I guess I have to find a way now to cleverly end this video. How about, I don't know, we look at some pretty pictures I took. Yeah, let's do that. This one has a pretty nice composition, I think, with the bird in the foreground and it's looking at the horizon. This one is like the same idea, but it's looking at a sunset, so it's just a bit cooler, maybe. This one just has a nice atmosphere to it. And this one is good because, well, he's hot. In this one I really like this warm orange spot in the middle of all this darkness. Also, he looks really hot. Okay, bye.